Hello everybody, hope you're doing fantastically well. It's Connor here and we are back with another episode of, I don't really know what this is called, just another episode on the channel. That's what we'll just go with. I don't know if we're delving into the rumour mill right yet, but we are going to be talking about some certain things that I want to discuss when it comes to Leeds United. Please make sure you're liking the video, everybody, getting your comments in the section below. I'm always interested to hear what you guys think, and obviously subscribe to the One Leeds Fan Channel. We've hit 25,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that, guys. And obviously the content hasn't been flying out on the channel because there's not that much stimulus at the minute, unfortunately, but we do have some things that I did want to talk about today, so as I say, just stick with me throughout this video. Let's get into it, shall we? Tyler Adams. Now, there's reports today suggesting that multiple clubs are going to be chasing his signature, which I think as Leeds United fans, we're not naive, we're not stupid. I think after the World Cup he's just had, it's going to be inevitable. It's inevitable that there are going to be clubs in for him. I think the worrying thing is that we've heard a bit of news from Team Talk this morning that apparently Tyler Adams is attracting interest from Manchester United. And yeah, I think it's obvious from their standpoint that they do need a defensive midfielder. I don't think they're all convinced on Fred. I don't think they're all convinced on McTominay, if I'm being honest with you. However, Tyler Adams, as I've just said, had a very good World Cup, arguably in the States his best player, unlucky to go home, of course. But apparently Arsenal, Manchester United, there's Inter Milan looking at him. Inzaghi is a huge admirer, apparently. I wouldn't be as worried about Inter Milan, and maybe that's me being slightly naive, but I think the lure of the Premier League, when Tyler Adams has come out and said multiple times before as well, he absolutely adores the Premier League. He wanted to be here. He's watched it since he was a kid. Very similar to what Brendan Aronson said. I don't really fear someone like Inter Milan. I do fear, however, a team maybe like Manchester United or Arsenal or Liverpool, who are also looking for a defensive midfielder at this moment in time. And according to this report, Tyler Adams is to assess his options at the end of the season, according to Give Me Sports' Dave Jones. Now, Jones has said that he believes that Ten Hag has zero chance of a January raid on Leeds United's Tyler Adams, and I agree. I don't think there's going to be any raid on Leeds United's defensive midfield talisman at the minute, and I think that would just be cataclysmic, and you might as well just relegate Leeds if we got rid of Tyler Adams at this moment in time. He's pivotal, and there's no likelihood that Leeds would replace him, is there? I mean, we're struggling to. It's very quiet on the January transfer rumour front when it just seems to be, adding these basic additions that we need in a striker, a left back, and another central midfielder, maybe even a centre back. Losing one of our key cogs and then having to replace him in January would just be horrific. However, if they're to come back in for him in the summer, or if they're to come in for him at all, or if other clubs had to come in for him at all in the summer, Jones has said a move to Manchester United is not on at the moment. I think it's Dean Jones, actually, not Dave Jones, the journalist. Pretty decent, to be fair. A move to Manchester United is not on at the minute. That's not one that's active at all. But from what I'm told, he's going to see out the season and probably see what lands at that moment. Expected, isn't it? With the position that we're in, very Rafinha-esque, and we're going to keep continuing to see this with Leeds, unfortunately, unless we start to progress as a club. Now, if we are to bring in some massive names in January, and I'm not talking about, ridiculous names that, are unattainable, but I'm talking about showing some real intent in January, who knows where his head might be at. If Leeds start climbing the table, we show a little bit of ambition, all these things that we didn't do with Rafinha. We knew Rafinha was going, of course we did, but we didn't show that ambition in January to be able to prove to him, look, if you stay here, this is the project, we're evolving. He was always going to go to Barcelona. We all knew that, but there was a point where Rafinha was going to sign an extension, if you do remember. That all went very quiet after January because Leeds started to plummet. Everything happened with Bielsa. There was no ambition shown in January. So they have to do it differently. They need to evolve as a club in terms of mentality as well. It's not all just about, what's going on the pitch. They need to be able to say to their star players, look, you stay at Leeds United because we have a project. You stay at Leeds United because we're going to do X, Y, and Z when it comes to, players coming in. They need to show ambition. Obviously, they need to stay in the Premier League fundamentally, but showing ambition is going to enable you to stay in the Premier League, and then it's going to enable you to attract these key names and keep these key names. So it's a huge period for Leeds. Someone like Tyler Adams, I think, after the World Cup he's had, he's going to, we didn't we didn't expect maybe that as Leeds fans. I think a lot of us were maybe looking at, I don't know, maybe Rasmus having an incredible tournament for Denmark. So obviously Denmark have probably got a better team, better nucleus than the States, and maybe them progressing a little bit further. It was obviously a shock they went out so early, but the States really impressed everyone in this tournament. And obviously Brendan didn't get as much minutes as he probably wanted, but the combination of McKennie, Musa and Tyler Adams in that midfield, the world will have been watching that, and the world will have been impressed with the United States, because obviously they've now got the World Cup coming up with Mexico and Canada, where they're going to be even better. You know, Tyler Adams at 23 years old, he's going to evolve. He's got so much time to develop as a football player, and other clubs are going to notice that. So the message to Leeds is to really invest this January, to really show players like Tyler Adams that there is a project, there is a reason to stay at Leeds. You know, this guy could be a one-club legend, he really could. But if certain journalists are coming out and saying that he's looking to assess his options, I'm not saying this is gospel, by the way, I'm not saying this is happening. However, it would make sense. But what would also make sense is Leeds to go out there, make these additions, climb the table, and make it a more difficult decision for Tyler Adams. Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Are you a little bit worried about Tyler Adams leaving at the end of the season? Do you think this is all just paper talk and a load of rubbish? It's been great to talk to you today. We're going to have World Cup leads out ASAP as well. I know you guys are loving that. Nearly 17,000 views on the last one with Gabe. Obviously, the States have gone out. However, England are still in. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk a bit about Adams' tournament and the projection. And maybe Gabe can give us a little bit of an insight on the mentality of Adams and where... Because Gabe was almost saying in the last video that he believes that, you know, if like ambition was shown by Leeds, then we might be able to keep hold of him, but that's down to Leeds United. So we're going to get his insight in exactly what the thoughts of Tyler Adams might be, because obviously Gabe's watched him for years and years, season for the national team as well. Guys, make sure you're liking and commenting on all of the videos. I read every single comment. Subscribe as well, and we'll be back tomorrow.